Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 11th of the 12 listening sessions of the Virginia Beach Community Engagement Project. This is the second solely virtual session, and the City Council looks forward to hearing from you. My name is Charnel Herring, and with me is Jane Dittmar, and we are with the UVA Weldon Cooper Center. We look forward to hearing from everyone this afternoon. In order to provide comments, the number to call is 855-925-2801. Put in the meeting code, which is 8291, and then select option 3. Jane. We will spend time by listening to you, and this is all about input, input, input. After your input is taken, we will memorialize it in a written document that will be provided to City Council. Also, a random survey will be sent to individuals in the city, but you can also access the survey on the website at Virginia Beach and fill it out. Each meeting also has its own email address. If you want to leave comments there, you may. And the City Council has provided a number for the project on its website. Again, that number is 855-925-2801, which you can call and leave comment. If you have comments that are separate from the elections process, you may email jtorres@vbgov.com. There will be a report prepared by our legal team, the city's legal team, regarding the election options for the City Council to consider in conjunction with the comments that you provide. The consideration by City Council will occur later this summer. Virginia Beach is awesome for providing comprehensive ways that individuals can comment. We've had in-person hearings and 2 virtual hearings, and it's a comprehensive process, and I'm sure the City Council members are pleasantly happy to see that everyone's commenting and participating. Jane. We will now go, yes.
Prior to 2022, our local election system remained mostly unchanged since 1967. The city charter defined our local election system as having 11 members. 4 were chosen at large with no residency requirement, including the mayor, and 7 more were elected at large, but had to reside within one of the former districts. The charter also stated that school board members would be elected in the same manner as their city council counterparts. In November 2017, a lawsuit was filed against the city. The suit alleged that the at-large system violated the Federal Voting Rights Act by diluting the voting power of minorities. Specifically, the plaintiffs contended that the former voting system diluted the voting strength of a coalition of Black, Hispanic, and Asian minority groups. The city defended the lawsuit, contending that no single minority group was large and compact enough to constitute a majority within a single voting district. The city also asserted that it was not reasonable to combine Black voters with Asian and Hispanic voters, since Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act did not authorize combining minority groups, and that the 3 minority groups specifically mentioned do not vote cohesively as one group. While the lawsuit was pending, the Virginia General Assembly considered and adopted legislation that would require changes to the election system, regardless of the outcome of the case. House Bill 2198 made it so that localities with district or ward-based residency requirements for members of a governing body must elect its members by the qualified members of that district or ward, and not by the locality at large. Further, House Bill 1890 and Senate Bill 1395, known as the Virginia Voting Rights Act, clarified that any at-large method of election shall not be imposed by the governing body in a manner that impairs the ability of a protected class to elect candidates of its choice or its ability to influence an election. Both pieces of legislation also apply to school boards. In March of 2021, the district court said that the city's voting system violated Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. The court concluded that the coalition claims were legally permissible and that the minority groups specifically mentioned in the case were politically cohesive. The court prohibited the city from using the former system in any future elections. Following the March 2021 ruling of the district court, a special master created new election district maps for the city using data from the 2020 census, ensuring they were equally populated. They were drawn in a manner that, in the court's view, would allow a sufficient majority of minority populations to facilitate the election of minority groups' candidates of choice, including the creation of 3 minority opportunity districts. Under the new 10-1 system, 10 city council members and 10 school board members are elected from each of the districts. Only the mayor continues to be elected at large and can reside anywhere in the city. The city appealed the district court's decision to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit. In July of 2022, a 3-judge panel ruled that the lower court erred in its decision and vacated the district court's decisions and remedy. This decision left the city free to consider options other than the 10-1 system in future elections. However, it was too late to effectively implement a new system in time for the November 2022 election cycle. In November of 2022, residents went to the polls and cast their votes for the city council and school board candidates of their choice using the 10-1 system that had been ordered by the district court. 161,753 ballots were cast, and the outcome was the election of the city's most diverse slate of representatives. Since the court order that implemented the 10-1 system is no longer in effect, and the former system of electing local representatives is still on the books in the city charter, it became apparent that City Council would need to formally adopt a new method in time for the 2024 elections. In order to ensure that residents had a say in the direction that City Council opts to pursue, they passed a resolution in December of 2022 to begin a community engagement campaign to educate and inform residents on what legally viable options are available for the city. Following the community engagement period, Virginia Beach residents will be asked to participate in a survey in April. A random sampling of residents will receive a survey in the mail. However, an online version will be available to all residents, with results shared with council and the community this summer. In conclusion, a decision on our election system must be made by City Council in time for the 2024 election. Thank you for joining us today. This is your opportunity to provide input on city policy development and decision-making.
All right, that was a great video brought to you by your city council. We, as your facilitators, are going to capture your input in a number of different ways. First of all, there will be a word-for-word verbatim transcript prepared. Additionally, the live stream video will be available. And finally, Charnel and I, as your facilitators, will be taking notes for a key findings report that will be presented to City Council later this summer. Just before we begin, I'd like to share the process. You will be called in the order in which you registered. Please wait until the recording is finished to begin your comments. Start by saying your name. And we are, as your facilitators, are not going to be answering questions, but you're welcome to ask them so City Council can consider them later. Finally, you will be given 3 minutes and a signal at 2 minutes and 45 seconds before the technology cuts you off at 3 minutes. So Charnel, I think we're ready to begin.
All right, well, thank you, Jane. And again, for everyone, the number is 855-925-2801. Input the meeting code 8291 and select option 3. We'll have our first caller now.
Was that directed at me?
Yes, if you could state your name and you have the virtual floor.
I thought it was just part of the whole thing. Okay, my name is Carolyn Kaywood. The ward you want? Oh, 8. The final comment on this process that I want to make is that I want to see an end to the members of City Council appointing people to fill vacancies, because this creates an obvious incumbent advantage. With 10 small districts, a special election to fill a vacancy is quite doable and will be much less expensive, and therefore I believe all vacancies should be filled by election, not appointment. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you. Next, welcome.
Hello, is it my turn?
Yes, ma'am. If you could state your name.
Yes, my name is Shirley Fowler, and I just have a brief comment. I really don't believe we should have the at-large voting anymore. I think it's outdated and antiquated. What we should be doing, we should have a council person that represents our particular area, because that person would know our particular needs. If at large, you would have somebody in the oceanfront voting for a council person for things. I live in the Alexandria area, and we live on the outskirts of Virginia Beach, and quite frankly, we are neglected. I've been living here for 20 years, and we were supposed to have some rec center. For 20 years, we had been speaking about that. We never did receive that. So we're out here, we're being taxed with no representation. So I feel like we would be represented better if we didn't have the at-large, if we could vote for a council person for our particular area, so that they could be respectful of our particular needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller, if you could just state your name before you speak, that'll be.
Hello, this is Chris Adolfi. I'm just here. I want to recommend an addition to the survey. You said you're not answering questions, so I don't know if it's already on there, so I'm just going to state it. And that would be, I would like everyone to be asked about whether they would want ranked choice voting on the next ballot on 2024. In case anyone here doesn't know, it's a system of voting that allows voters to rank candidates in order of preference. So all of your candidates, you would rank them 1 to 10. On preference, basically, you would be able to vote for someone that you don't necessarily think is going to win, but you'd be able to vote for them on preference, and then maybe the person you think is going to win, you could vote second without there being any sort of like first past the post like system where you're forced into voting for someone. Say you're forced into voting for some certain city council member that you don't necessarily prefer over someone, but you think if you don't vote for them, then you're voting for the other person, basically. This would kind of mitigate that. It's not a perfect system. That's why I would like for this to be voted on by the people on whether they want ranked choice voting. Preferably on the survey, you could rank ranked choice voting by preference 1 out of 10 on how much you would prefer to have it. I think that would be pretty funny. Yeah, it's already that's why I would like for this. It's already available in the Code of Virginia 24.2-673.1. Ranked choice voting means a method of casting and tabulating votes. And city council members are allowed to conduct a vote with a majority vote that will allow their elections to be conducted in this way. And that is specifically what I'm talking about here. It's also with school board and other elections. So I would like that to be voted on by the city council. I don't know if they have voted on it, but I think if a lot of people say on the survey that they want it to be there, that would be great to get another vote on it. If there has been one, I don't know.
15 seconds.
But that's it. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. The next caller can state their name. Hi.
Hi, my name's Kathleen Peterson. I live in the Kempsville area of Virginia Beach. I wanted to thank the city for including virtual events. I'm disabled and don't own a vehicle, so this allows people like me to contribute and be a part of the process. And I hope that in future I'll be able to participate in the survey. I'm not sure how to do that. Maybe that could be revisited after all the comments are collected. So my comments are as follows. I recommend using the ranked voting method in all city elections, both district and at large, so taxpayer costs and time delays associated with duplicative elections aren't needed if a city elected representative steps down from their office prior to conclusion of their term of office due to unforeseen illness or competing responsibilities or their physical move out of the geographic area in which they were elected. In cases such as that, our city can simply swear in city voters' second choice for representation as it would be duly collected and recorded during the previous election. I also endorse the 10-1 ward system for our city, for both our city council members as well as our school board members. I think it makes sense to better ensure all diverse folks in our city have the opportunity to be represented on both our city council and on our city public school board. I did read a comment that was posted in writing for this virtual meeting wherein someone recommended that folks not only vote in their own assigned district where their home is located, but also up to 2 or 3 adjacent districts where school attendance might overlap. I think that's a thorny issue, and I'm not sure having folks vote in 2 or 3 different districts might not dilute the diversity effect. So I hope that if that's something that's considered by our city leaders, I hope it's something that they give careful thought to. I do think that the ranked voting, though, makes sense for all city elections, whether they're at large, like for sheriff or treasurer.
We have 15
I heard
seconds.
something.
Yeah. Yes, it's
Oh,
just 15
okay.
seconds left.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that concludes my comments. Thank you for the opportunity. Bye.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. My name is Michael Weish. I'm here standing in support of 10-1, as it brings diversity to the elections where each district can be represented by their district representative. It allows for better accountability for those elected officials and allows for low startup costs for new candidates. If issues do arise in those districts, it allows for easy access for these concerned citizens to reach their representative. You know, maybe you even run into them at the grocery store that you all go to, you know. Things that I would like to be looked at and addressed, besides being in support of 10-1, would be the district maps, the lines drawn separating District 9 and District 8, I think need to be revisited. As well, I am requesting a polling location during locations either at Kentsville Elementary, Kentsville Middle School, or the Williams Farm Recreation Center. I'd like to take this time to thank Eyewear Unlimited in Norfolk for helping me see again with new glasses in eye exam. And then my final statement, the NAACP will be having a meeting next Tuesday at Williams Farm Recreation Center, and we hope to see you all there. Thank you very much for having this open discussion on the elections, and I hope you all have a very great day. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Grateful for it.
There are no additional speakers in the queue, but I do see a number of connected callers. If any of those individuals are interested in speaking and sharing their comments, they only need to press star to enter the menu and select option 3. Again, that's star, menu option 3. We have another one. I'm connecting them now.
Yes, hello. My name is Avanti Garrido. I'm a resident of Virginia Beach pretty much all my life. I want to piggyback off of what a few more people have said before, and I am in full support. And I would also recommend ranked choice voting. For further explanation, ranked choice voting allows voters to rank candidates in orders of preference rather than simply selecting one candidate, which means that if your preferred candidate doesn't win, your vote still has a chance to count toward a second or third candidate, which means there's no such thing as a throwaway vote. And implementing ranked choice voting would benefit the city in several ways. Firstly, it would help combat the problem of vote splitting in the traditional first past the post voting. Multiple candidates from the same party or ideological group can split the vote, allowing for a less popular candidate to win with only a plurality of votes. Secondly, ranked choice voting would encourage a more civil and issue-focused campaign environment. Candidates would actually have to appeal to a broader range of voters rather than just their base, which would incentivize them to focus on issues that are important to a wider swath of the population. Finally, implementing ranked choice voting would send a strong message that our city values fairness, inclusivity, and the democratic participation, and it would be a powerful symbol of our commitment to ensuring that every voice is heard and that every vote counts regardless of party affiliation or ideology. So implementing ranked choice voting is a proven and effective way to strengthen our democracy and ensure that our elections are fair, transparent, and inclusive. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Caller, you're connected. Please begin your comments.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, now we can. Yes. Welcome.
Hi. Hi, thanks. It's Kathleen Peterson again. I just had a follow-on comment. A couple more folks have made comments about the ranked voting, and I realized there were a couple of benefits to us taxpayer voters that I ran out of time and didn't mention. One is we don't have to deal with political appointments to fill vacancies when those whom we elect leave office prematurely, and we can pull in the ranked candidate that came in second place as needed, that was selected actually by the voters that they would serve, and thereby eliminate any undue political influence on the choice. Also, it eliminates the time delay and additional costs to taxpayers that are attributable to special elections that currently need to be held when someone leaves their post if a political appointee isn't made, in cases where elected officials leave prematurely before the end of their term. So anything to keep down taxpayer costs and serve the voters seems like a great idea to me. And that's all I forgot to say the first time I spoke. Thank you for listening. Bye now.
Thank you.
So there are no additional virtual speakers in the queue that I can see, but we still have a number of connected callers. If anybody would like to speak, again, that's press star to enter the menu and select option 3.
This is Dorothy Patterson, and I live down at the ocean front. I would like to see Virginia Beach stay with the 10-1 district system. This system allows candidates to fully walk a district to talk to voters and make the money contributions to candidates not as important. This way you would truly have representation from your district. I also know that the lines that are currently drawn for the city have been influenced by the city. For example, there were lines drawn around Lewis Jones' house before he died so he could stay in a district and not run against another current council person. I'm also totally against appointments to vacancies that may occur. It does not give a person, or it does give a person the incumbency advantage and does not give the people real representation. I also feel there should be a referendum on the ballot for voters to decide on which system to have. 11 council members should not be making the decision for the voting system for the city. Also, the November 22nd, 2022 election is technically void and did not duly elect people in 3 districts. You've got Wilson, Bellucci, and Wooten that were appointed to seats or anointed to seats. In addition, the charter had not been changed to reflect to allow the 10-1 district system that was used. With Virginia being a Dillon Rule state, all changes have to be written in the charter to be able to do it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Additional speaker and connecting them now.
Hey, I just wanted to clarify with ranked choice voting. Someone mentioned that it would be used when someone stepped down from office. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but generally it's used to initially decide who gets office. So if you have several people running for office, under ranked choice voting, the candidate with the fewest first choice votes is eliminated, and the second choice votes of their supporters are redistributed to the remaining candidates. It's not necessarily used just because someone stepped down from office where you choose who was the runner-up. It's used for the initial election. That's all I have. Thank you.
What is your name again, please?
Christopher Adolphi.
Thank you.
So once again, that is the end of the current speaker list. I see still that we have a number of callers connected to the phone bridge. Again, press star and select menu option 3 if you would like to speak and have your comments heard. An additional speaker and connecting them now.
Yes, hello, this is Avanti Garrido again. I just wanted to offer up some possible solutions when it comes to the issue of gerrymandering, because I heard that term come up quite a bit. Might I recommend creating an independent redistricting commission, or use a more transparent and objective criteria for redistricting, which, the criteria used to draw the district lines should be transparent, and objective, focusing on factors such as the population size, community boundaries, and compactness. And this can ensure that districts are drawn fairly without bias. Also, you can encourage public participation in the redistricting process, which can ensure that the district lines accurately reflect the needs and desires of the community, like holding more public hearings, soliciting input from community organizations, and other online tools for gathering feedback. You can also implement proportional representation, which means parties receive seats in proportion to the percentage of the votes they receive, and that can ensure that the makeup of the legislature reflects the diversity of views in the community and can help prevent gerrymandering by reducing the incentive to draw district lines in a way that favors one party over the other. Or you can create multi-member districts rather than dividing this into like single-member districts, like creating multi-member districts that can help ensure that different communities are represented to prevent gerrymandering and reducing the ability to draw lines in a way that favors one party over the other. All right, that's all.
Thank you.
Once again, there are no speakers in the queue, but I still see that we have individuals connected. If you would like to have your voice heard, please press star and select menu option 3.
Well, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us and for giving us your comments. Again, they will be captured in a findings report that will be provided to City Council, along with legal options that the City Council may consider. Please remember that there is a survey available online that you can use and fill out if you do not receive the random survey, but still would like your voice heard through that survey. There is one more listening session that is happening this evening at First Colonial High School. And we just, again, would like to thank everybody for participating. Having your voice heard is very important. And if there's any issue, get in contact with City Council. You may email jtorres@vbgov.com. Thank you so much for joining us.